My name is Aima Janice Kamensu, a financial literacy champion, and here we talk all matters personal finances. In this video, we'll be talking about different budgeting methods you can use to plan for your money. If you like this kind of content and you're new here, subscribe. Welcome. When it comes to managing your personal finances, one of the greatest tools you can use is a budget. Now, we want to, as we say in personal finance, that they're called personal finances for a reason, in that they're unique to each person. So what may work for me may not work for you because, of course, there are many factors to consider. We have different expenses, we have different incomes, we live in different places, we are exposed to different opportunities. That said, I want to share like 4 types of budgeting tools that you can use to manage your money. So the first one and the most common one that is talked about is a 50-30-20 budgeting method. So in this method, you allocate 50% of your net income to your needs. What are needs? These are things that you cannot do without. You have to pay for your house rent, you have to pay for your mortgage, you need to buy food, you need to have basic clothing, you need to go to work, travel to work, you need medical care. You know, all those things that you cannot do without. Those are your needs. And so you prioritize that and you allocate 50% of your net income towards that pool of needs. Now, the 30% you allocate it to wants. What are wants? These are the things that you buy. You don't really need them, but you want them. Probably things like entertainment. You don't really need to go eat out at a restaurant, but you want to. Yeah? You don't really need to buy designer clothes, but you want to. You don't really need to maybe buy perfume or things like that. You don't need to subscribe to a club membership, but you want to. These are things that make you happy. You'll find that most wants are tied to what make people happy. Yeah. So you allocate 30% of your net income towards those wants. Then the 20% that remains is allocated to savings and investment. So 20% of the money that you get goes to savings. So if you earn 100,000 shillings net, 50%, which is 50,000, will go to your needs, utilities, bills, housing, all those. 30%, which is 30,000, will go to wants, holidays, you know, all those things that you need, you do to have fun or to enjoy or to make yourself feel good. And then 20,000, which is 20%, will go towards savings and investment. Yeah, so that's the first method that you can use. Another method that you can use to budget for your money, this one used to be, it's been there for a while, and especially when we didn't have this mobile money, we didn't have, you know, like using cards to pay. So it's called the envelope method. In this method, what you do, you allocate money, you take envelopes, you allocate money, and you put them in envelopes. So especially for, of course, there are those things that you don't need to allocate for money in envelopes. Like maybe if you pay house rent, that one you know that this amount I pay every month. If you pay maybe school fees, you know this is the amount that I need to pay every month. So like for those ones you pay. Now for the other things, maybe groceries that you buy on a daily, you don't buy maybe on a monthly basis, for what you would consider your wants, yeah, you allocate that money into envelopes. So you can have like entertainment envelope and you say I'm putting 10,000, which means for the whole month I'll have access to 10,000 for entertainment. So once that money is over, you cannot spend any more on entertainment. If that money remains at the end of the month, you can either roll it over in the same envelope, or you can maybe put it into savings, or you can reallocate it to another envelope. So if you want to maybe buy food, you have that, especially maybe eating out, yeah, or if you allocate an envelope for clothing, yeah. Once you spend, if you have allocated like 5,000, once you spend 5,000 on clothing, you cannot spend more until that month is over and the next month comes and you allocate money into that envelope again. So this one also helps you to either keep track of your expenses. You'll know which areas you're spending more. You'll be able to adjust to know that I need to put more in this envelope next time. And even if you want to, maybe you have maybe a goal-based saving and you want maybe to boost your saving or to pay off debt faster, so you can use the money that remains from these envelopes to either put them in a savings account or to pay off debt so that you're able to pay off the debt quickly. So that's the envelope method. So this one you actually need to have cash, actual cash, which also maybe means that especially like in our country today, when you're using mobile money, it can be expensive to pay for things. So this one you need cash, exactly. Sometimes it's not very safe to keep cash, especially in the house. So that's why you may want to either allocate the money in other virtual envelopes. You can have this amount. There are many ways you can save this money, either in different accounts or that, so that every account caters for a different thing. So when your money comes in at the beginning of the month, you allocate them to different accounts, and this account is for this and this account is for this. So that is how you can modernize the envelope method. Now the other way you can use to budget your money is what we call zero-based budgeting. Now for zero-based budgeting means once you get your money, or even before you get your money, if I earn 50,000 shillings, you budget for that money to the last coin. Every shilling that you earn is budgeted for something. So this one needs you to be very aware of how you spend your money. You need to have really analyzed your spending behavior to know that I spend 5,000 on entertainment, I spend 10,000 on groceries. And part of this zero-based budgeting, you can also put, or you should even put a savings line, so that 10,000 goes to savings. So the key thing is that why it's called zero-based budgeting is that at the end of that budget, you don't have any shilling that is floating around. Yeah. So it helps in the fact that you're going to monitor your expenses better, and you will be able to know how to manage in future, where to put more money, where to reduce. Yeah. So the other way you can budget for your money is what we call 70-20-10 rule. So it's kind of similar to the 50-30-20, because these are tools that allocates percentages to the money that you earn. So if it's 100,000, again, use 70% of that goes to needs and wants. Basically, it goes to your living expenses. So both needs and wants. So your utilities, your housing, your school fees, your traveling expenses, your eating out, your holidays, your phone bills, your subscriptions, whatever you have, all of it should fit into that 70%. Then 20% goes to savings and investment. Yeah. So if you're earning like 100,000, 20,000 will go to savings and investment. So you can put it in a money market fund, or you can have a goal-based saving if you want to save for a home, if you want to save for a car, or whatever else you want to save for. 20% of your income goes to that. And then the last 10% is what you use to give people. So it can be what you want to give to church, what you want to give to other people who are in need. It can be what you give to either family members that need support, or if you want to support a friend, or you have been invited for a fundraiser. So 10% of your income is allocated towards that. The only challenge with the 70-20-10 is that, first of all, you don't, in the 70%, for needs and wants, it does not separate the needs and the wants. So you have to be very careful so that you are not mixing them up, where you allocate more of that money to wants and leave out the needs. But it is also very popular because at least it gives you the freedom of the 10% that you can use to give, because most of these other budgeting tools do not tell you how much money you can give out to other people. And the reality is, most of the time you end up having cases or situations when you need to give out the money to other people.